In this episode, a very rainy Dutch Grand Prix, IMSA was at VIR, and some big crashes in Daytona. Welcome to episode 261 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rao, what's new with you?
I'm very tired today.
Okay.
I was woken up in the middle of the night by the smoke detector chirping at me that needed a new battery.
The classic.
Why do they always do it in the middle of the night?
Here's what I wish they would have.
Yeah. I wish that the smoke detector would alert you of a new battery needed in the middle of the day, not the middle of the night.
Would be nice. I don't think it has the concept of time involved.
But why do they always do it in the middle of the night?
That's the rule. It's like, why do you always plug in a USB-A upside down, flip it back over, try it again, it's still wrong, flip it back over, try it again, it's still wrong.
Yes.
You just can never get it the first time.
Ever.
It's a rule. The fire detector chirp has to go off at the most inconvenient time possible.
Like right about an hour before you're supposed to wake up. An hour and a half or so.
Perfect.
Why?
Them's the rules.
I mean, why?
I don't know.
They always do that. So I was woken up early. I didn't get enough beauty rest last night.
Did you go get the ladder? And
I got an ottoman, and I did actually approach this with some common sense.
Oh.
I didn't just start beating it.
Oh.
Because normally what I've done in years past is just beat it into submission until it shuts up. Which is what a lot of people do. Especially because it's always going to happen in the middle of the night. Because it always happens in the middle of the night because that's just what happens. You're usually tired and angry because you just got woken up. So you just end up just beating the living shit out of the thing until something stops. I actually approached it with logic.
You could just replace the battery.
Well, that's what I did.
Yeah, that's the solution.
I didn't have any of those types of batteries.
Of course not. Never do.
Ever, right?
Ever.
Because it's such an awkward battery size, right?
Yep.
So I pulled the battery out and actually, you know what the button is called?
What?
Hush.
Oh.
I hushed it.
There's a hush button?
There's a hush button.
Wow.
Yeah. So I pressed hush. So that was my early morning today.
The button should be, do you think you could sleep? Please let me sleep.
Sleep? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? So yeah, let's talk about racing. There was a bit of racing that's happened the past weekend. There was 3 big notables that I want to mention. I think there was another one, but we're not going to talk too much about that one. Let's start with the F1 Dutch Grand Prix.
F1 was at Zandvoort, the Dutch Grand Prix. And the meme going in was, is everyone excited to hear the Dutch national anthem before and after the race?
Yes, twice.
Twice.
And that's what happened.
That's what happened.
Yes, it was.
To get there was actually kind of entertaining.
Yeah, I was going to say, to get to that checker was not Formula boring.
No, it was Formula chaos.
It was Formula chaos.
Which is great.
What brought along the chaos?
The rain.
Yes.
I did not know that track was like right on the water. It is really close to the water.
I did not know that either.
Yeah.
Until they did like the zoom out panning shot, and I was like, oh, there's like water like right there.
It's very close to the water.
But that was actually really exciting. I mean,
it was.
There was, what was it, like the second lap of the race, people were pitting for inters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
when they zoomed out and showed the start from the helicopter, you could see the rain in the final corner as they were like going to the green flag drop. It was awesome.
It really is fantastic to watch that. This picture is actually right before they went into inters, when they're still on slicks, on softs, and we're on inters. Some are, some aren't.
Yes.
But actually, what was really funny is when everyone started to dive in to go into inters, Ferrari was initially one of the first people to make that call. And Ferrari, can I just question everything about your life? Ferrari
does what Ferrari does. They bung the strategy up.
Oh my God. Was it Leclerc or Sainz? I don't remember who it was.
I don't know.
I think it was Leclerc. But he came into the pits. There wasn't a tire to be seen.
No.
There was literally not a tire anywhere to be seen. So he stopped in the pit box, just kind of looking around going, hello? Anyone?
Not only
Help?
that, but the first tire to come out and be put on the front right was a slick. And then they took that one off.
It's like every single race, there's something that just does not go correct for Ferrari.
How can you engineer an F1 car with like insane engine tolerances, crazy aerodynamics, and then when it's like, oh, big black cloud, rain, maybe I should get rain tires? No, they just goof it all up.
He's sitting there waiting, and there's just no tires anywhere. Everyone's just kind of sitting around looking at each other going, I recognize that car. Oh, wait a minute. Shit, that's our car. I need to go get some tires.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't go well for them.
Ferrari will do Ferrari things.
I would like to see Ferrari start doing traditional Ferrari things like winning.
I think everyone would, but then the memes wouldn't be as good because the memes are really good.
The memes are fantastic.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're fantastic.
They're just a pot of gold for memes.
It really is. There was a little bit of inter-team drama with Red Bull.
There was.
Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear the details of it.
So here's what kind of happened. Perez, I believe, was the one that pitted for Inter's. Max undercut Perez in the pits. Yes. So Perez was leading.
Yes, in the beginning, Perez was leading after the crazy rain in the beginning.
Yes, and then Perez was leading, and then Max undercut him.
Mm-hmm.
Now Perez did not ask to come in.
Nope.
Neither did Verstappen.
Oh.
Apparently that was, from my understanding, obviously I'm not a team boss at Red Bull, but from my understanding, I think that was some puppet masters pulling strings.
Yeah, to my eye, that was certainly them swapping positions in a team wants this to happen way and drivers don't want this to happen way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was that, and then there was the shenanigans of the Perez pit stop near the end of the race before they had the red flag.
Yes, I forgot about that.
He kind of called himself in before that, but the team should have known that like somebody's going to stuff it into the barrier. You're going to go red. The rain was coming down so hard it would not have mattered. They would have gone red anyway.
Buckets of rain.
And he came in and it like goofed up all the strategy and
Yeah, because he came in and then they immediately went red.
Yep.
And then he cycled down a little bit.
He never made it out of the pits.
Yeah.
He was sitting in the pits when it was red. So
not great.
No. I don't know how they at Red Bull have managed to walk this tightrope and make it to where he's not just absolutely livid. If you're Perez, like they've literally taken away.
I think it's because he's just not as good.
You think so?
Yeah, because here's my thought. When Perez was leading, he initially got the gap to like 11 seconds to Verstappen.
Mm-hmm.
And in like literally 2 or 3 laps, that gap was down to like a second.
I know. I agree with you. There is a skill difference. But the team is also manifesting a skill difference. Like, they're not helping him. They're hindering him.
You think they're hindering him?
Mm-hmm. On purpose. You saw it this race.
Well, only with... Or are they just letting him say, I'll do what I want, and if he makes a bad call, it's on him?
The weird part is, why hinder him at this point? Max is so far ahead, it doesn't matter if he DNFs 3 races in a row. It's okay. He still wins the championship. Like, what's the point of trying to get Max to keep on winning? You already have the record for the most wins in a season at this point. Why does it matter? Why not let the other driver win? Why not bump the rest of the points up for the rest of the team? It's their call. If I were Perez, I'd be out of there. And honestly, I don't know. People are going to want that seat, no doubt, because it's Red Bull. It's the second or the fastest car. But who would want to be Max's teammate at this point? The team works against you on purpose to let Max win. Like, why would you want to be in the team?
I see where you're going with that.
It's weird. It's really weird.
Side note, there was one of our favorite drivers that was missing from the race. Daniel Ricciardo. Oh, speaking of which, that's perfect timing as he comes up on screen. So he had an accident in practice or quali. I don't remember which one it was. But it caused him to break his hand.
That's kind of wild.
Like a full-blown broken hand. So he had to undergo some hand surgery stuff, which meant Mr. Lawson stood in for him.
Yeah.
Who actually had a pretty solid race for his first race.
He did.
I mean, he came from way back to finish 13?
Anything not last or second to last was a win for him.
Yeah.
And he did really good.
finish the race and not be last or second to last, and that's him doing good.
He did great.
Yeah,
I was
Lawson
impressed.
had a great drive.
Do you know if Daniel's accident was him breaking his hand because of the wheels snapping around when it hit the wall or something?
I don't know exactly how the hand got broken, but it looked like he went into the wall mostly head on.
It probably was then. It probably was the wheel hitting his hand or him not taking his hand off the wheel, right?
Yeah, maybe just his hand getting locked in as he goes in.
Could have been, yeah.
Something.
The wheels will snap. They will spin around really fast when you hit the wall.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, pretty much every in-car you see, they go, boom, let it go.
Right. You're supposed to, like, take your hands off and cross your chest, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. Yeah, overall, really entertaining race. I want to see more F1 races like this, where it's either in a rainy situation. That's how I put it.
I'd like to see the rain.
So more weather to like roll the dice more.
Spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
It was exciting for sure. So guess who won?
Who won?
Verstappen.
Yes, he did.
That was not even a question. But second or third? Who would you like to see second and third?
I would like to see Lando.
No.
Oh. I would like to see any Ferrari, but I know that's not. There's no way in hell.
Nope.
Fernando?
Yes. Fernando P2. Alonso is back on the podium, baby. Let's go.
That's cool.
Glad to see that. Mm-hmm. But P3 went to an Alpine. It was Mr. Pierre Gasly.
Okay. Wow. That's actually really good for him.
So you had a Verstappen, Alonso, Gasly podium. That's actually a good eclectic mix there.
It is. Get the Verstappen out of there. But the rest is, yes.
And then in terms of points, there are some people on the points that actually pretty good to see in points. I mean, Gasly scored some good points. Alonso obviously scored good points. Perez came P4. But then Carlos Sainz, after all the Ferrari dramas, he got P5. Hamilton, P6, which was a good drive for him.
That's good.
Since he started from way back.
Yeah.
Lando got some points. Alex Albon for Williams, P8. There we go. Oscar Piastri, the McLaren. Honestly, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. The other Alpine got P10.
That was a fun Grand Prix to watch.
Very fun Grand Prix to watch.
Give me more of that, F1. Give me more of that.
Please. We don't want dry races. We want wet races.
No. Speaking of races that are usually very entertaining, IMSA was over at VIR. Now, this track in particular is very hilly, narrow. It's like a ribbon of asphalt in a sea of grass.
Yes.
And it can make for some very interesting situations if you had traffic.
Yeah.
Now, this race didn't have traffic.
Because it was GT only at Virginia International Raceway.
Which, can we talk about that? Should it be multi-class?
Yeah. I think it should have been GTLM and GTD.
GTLM, which is the top class.
Which used to be the top class.
Used to be. Yeah.
I wish there was different cars for GTLM, so then you'd actually have multi-class.
So the new class would be GTP for that. So you want the fastest cars and the slowest cars at this
track. No. I want... So before you had DPI...
You're right.
I wanted the GT cars, but faster GT cars.
I see.
Not just GT cars that are BOP'd the same.
You're right. I was thinking LMGT3. Yeah.
Not quite. There's too many acronyms.
Too many. Far too many.
I would say, you know that series that's LMP3 and GT4?
Yeah.
That would be fantastic at this.
That would be awesome. They could... Like, LMP2 would be good here.
GTP would be too much.
It'd be too much. It'd be too much of a difference in speed.
Yeah. I mean... You'd be just coming to a full stop.
LMP3 would be great, but they don't run a lot of races those. So
yeah,
I wish that there was more traffic in this race. Did you watch it?
I did.
Was it entertaining?
No.
That was my worry.
It was a little boring.
Yeah,
because I mean there was a few battles. I mean I'm not going to say it was full boring, but it wasn't as exciting as say F1 was.
It wasn't classic IMSA.
Yeah, no.
Classic IMSA is just on the ragged edge of chaos all the time.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
This was a GT sprint race where all the cars are relatively equal pace. Once everyone finds their slot,
They're supposed to all be BOP'd the same.
in theory, yes. In practice, it's never that simple.
Yeah. Everyone seemed to just there's a couple crashes, but everyone started to just kind of find their groove and just kind of stayed in their groove.
Yep.
So, meh. Either way, there's a couple good battles, but that's kind of it.
Who took down the win?
That would be one Antonio Garcia and Jordan Taylor.
Whoa.
In the Corvette.
Okay.
The Corvette took the win, followed by a Lexus and a BMW. And actually, the BMW was the winner in GTD.
Okay. Nice.
So.
I do know that Corvette and Lexus have been good all season, and I think as far as BOP, they look pretty strong.
I would say Lexus and Mercedes have looked the strongest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lexus and Mercedes have been given a lot of BOP breaks, it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas everyone else has been a little on the laggy side.
A little bit. But that is what happened in IMSA.
Yeah, I will quick piggyback since I'm a Porsche fan. The Porsches were non-existent in that race.
They really haven't been as of recent.
I mean, in that race, like the leading Porsche was like miles back in the running order.
Yep. They got to
Not
get
great.
that car figured out.
Not great. But there was another race to quickly mention.
There was. And it was another exciting one. Surprisingly, Formula boring. Exciting. IMSA boring. And NASCAR relatively exciting.
Man, what a weird weekend.
What an odd backwards from normal sequence of events.
Very.
But NASCAR was at Daytona for race number 2 of the season at Daytona.
Yes.
This was the
at night.
Yes, it started in the sunset and went to night. This was the Coke Sugar 0400 Firecracker. I don't know, whatever they want to insert sponsor name here.
Correct.
Anyway, it was 400 miles at Daytona, pack racing, which is very interesting to watch.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah, if you know what's happening, it's very entertaining. If you're just watching it for the crashes, they happen. There's some big ones in this one. But it's not as entertaining. But watching how they manage the traffic and how they're slotting around between each other and bumping each other, pretty awesome.
That seems like a really sketchy kind of racing to do.
It's very sketchy.
Because I feel like the cars are always unsettled.
They relatively are, yes. And I think that there's a surprising amount of half throttle, even dabbing the brake while you're going down straights and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, to just not murder the car in front of you.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is a different kind of racing for sure.
Ooh.
That's my experience, at least in sim racing. Obviously, I haven't been in one of these in real life, but from what you can see in the onboards and you watch the throttle traces, those guys there are some big lifts that happen.
They're so full just absolutely send it into the car in front of you.
At sometimes a full lap is half throttle.
Really?
Yeah, it's like that kind of stuff.
Huh.
It's pretty fascinating.
Wow.
But we need to talk about the crashes that happen.
There were a couple big ones.
Yes. So real quick, the first one, this one is Ryan Prix. He had a really big. Oh no, this one was this was Ryan Prix. So this was a rollover. If you've ever played old NASCAR games,
Yeah.
you'll have done this.
Intentionally. Yes, many times.
You'll have spun the car out in front of you and watch them in your mirror go flying up where the rear flips up into the airstream and then they go. This isn't supposed to happen today in NASCAR.
Yeah, but I think when you have enough car going fast enough that you can't completely eliminate it.
Yes. Let's take a look. Whoop.
That
Hold
was
on.
fast. Wow.
Let me fix that.
That was
Hold
exciting
on.
to watch. So, what happened?
Here we go. All right.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a scary looking one.
It is.
Oh, and fire.
Yeah, and there's a little fire at the end. But let's take a look at this one over here, which is the other crash that happened. Now, I don't remember if this was Priest or Blaney, but
This is Blaney.
This is Blaney. This is a massive
So,
impact.
okay. To the untrained eye, most people would probably say the Ryan Priest crash looks scarier.
Yes, which was the tumble.
Yeah, because you barrel rolled like umpteen times.
Mm-hmm.
But If you had to be in one of those two crashes, which one would you rather be in?
I would much rather be in the barrel roll.
Yeah, same here. I would much rather be in that barrel roll tumble than that head-on impact into the wall.
So here's why. We're going to show it the head-on impact one more time, and I'm actually going to slow it down a little bit because look at the wall.
Oh,
look at how much that wall deflects.
That's big.
That wall is steel. It is like steel tubing.
That's big.
If you've ever been to Daytona and you get to walk the track, tap on the wall with your hand. It is rock solid.
That's a big impact.
It was like moved by 3 to 4 feet.
That's a really big impact.
That is a massive impact. That's the same exact way that Dale Earnhardt died. So that is scary to me. It's not about how fast you go. It's about how fast you stop.
Correct. Like the old Clarkson quote, speed has never killed anyone.
Right.
It's suddenly becoming stationary that gets you. Right?
It is.
Yeah, the two, I think, wasn't it both Ryans? Blaney and Prix, Prix, right? Yeah, apparently bad day for Ryans.
Yeah, no, not good. But other than those two major incidents, there was a lot of jockeying around. There was another big pile up that happened, and it took like half the field out, which was kind of crazy to see.
That seems like pack
and
racing.
it left for some interesting finishers because it wasn't the classic NASCAR names that you would think of that were in the top battling for the win. So who took the win?
The win went to Chris Buescher. And I pronounced his name correctly for the first time in my life. And then second place was Brad Keselowski.
Struggling to say that one.
Yeah, that was a struggle. Third place, Eric Almirola. I got it.
Eric Almirola, Brad Keselowski, and Chris Buescher.
Yeah.
Yep. It's. I know that Keselowski's been around for a long time. Buescher, I think it's his first Daytona win, which is pretty cool. Might be his first win overall. I'm not. Don't quote me on that one. And then who was the other one?
Almirola.
Almirola. I don't know that Almirola's been around that long either.
P3.
Yeah. Cool to see though. NASCAR at Daytona. What a wild ride.
Yeah. Sounds like it. But there's only a little bit of racing coming up this weekend. F1 is racing the Italian Grand Prix.
Monza.
Yeah, correct.
Monza.
That will hopefully be good. Hopefully we see a little bit of rain. Hopefully Ferrari can manage to do things properly in Italy.
Ferrari's pretty much home track, right?
I feel like of all the places that Ferrari screws it up the most, it's in Italy.
Because they had Imola got rained out.
Yeah, because remember, that was under like 18 feet of water.
Right, so this is essentially their home race now.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, let's see how many tires they forget this race.
Box for hards.
Completely dry. Lap 1, box, hards. Why are you doing this?
I don't know, man.
NASCAR is also racing Darlington. Gotta get your Darlington stripes.
Oh, baby. Ride the wall. Here we go. And I believe that they're getting really close to the NASCAR playoffs. This might have been the final race to set the playoffs.
This may be, yeah.
I think it was.
I think you're right.
So, cool. Some good racing coming up.
Yep. We'll be looking forward to seeing that. So, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope.
It's going to wrap us up then for episode 261. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up, and drop a comment on the video. Let us know which of the two crashes at Daytona would you rather not have been in, the tumble roll or the head-on impact. And if you're listening on audio only, send us those thoughts via social. Facebook is We Are Auto, Instagram is We Are Auto _, YouTube is We Are Auto, and our website is weareauto.io. So thanks again. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.